103 Tycoon left wife for Waitress, then found her raising his twins in luxury. He didn't turn. Not yet. He let her voice hang there, fragile as porcelain. Sophia, his wife, 12 years. 12 years of loyalty, of patience, of love he'd stopped noticing. Not because it faded, but because he stopped looking. He finally turned, face unreadable, eyes cool. I have a call with Tokyo in 20. Eat without me. She didn't flinch, not outwardly, but her fingers tightened around the edge of the doorframe. A small tell. He used to notice those, used to kiss her forehead when she did that, whisper, "What's wrong, amor?" Now he just waited for her to leave. She stepped inside, just a little. Wore that blue dress, the one he'd bought her in Paris years ago. The one she saved for special nights. He hadn't asked what was special tonight. "You missed Livia's recital," she said softly. "She waited until 9 for you to come." He frowned. "I told you I had the Henderson merger closing." "You told your assistant," she corrected, voice barely above a whisper. "You didn't tell me." He sighed, set the glass down harder than he meant to. "Sophia, don't do this. Not tonight. I'm under pressure." She walked closer, slowly, like approaching a sleeping lion. "I'm not doing anything, Lucas. I'm just reminding you. She's your daughter. She drew you a picture. It's on the fridge. She wrote, 'Papa, I sang for you.'" His jaw clenched. He looked away. "I'll look at it tomorrow. Tomorrow she'll be at school, and you'll be in another meeting, or another gala, or another trip." He turned sharply then. "What's that supposed to mean?" She didn't back down. Not this time. Her eyes, those deep, warm brown eyes he used to lose himself in, held his. "It means I see you, Lucas. Even when you pretend I don't exist. I see you slipping away, and I don't know how to pull you back." He stepped toward her, voice low, edged with something dangerous. Frustration, guilt, fear. "You think I don't know what I'm missing? You think I don't feel it? But this," he gestured broadly at the skyline, the empire. "This is what keeps us safe. This is what gives her that school, that future. You want me to throw it all away to clap at a kindergarten stage?" Her breath hitched, tears welled, but she refused to let them fall. "I want you to want to be there, not because it's convenient, not because it looks good, because she's yours, because I'm yours." He stared at her, really stared. For the first time in months, maybe years, he saw the shadows under her eyes, the way her collarbone jutted a little too sharply, the quiet exhaustion in her smile. When had she gotten so thin? When had he last touched her, really touched her? Not a brush of the hand, not a distracted kiss on the forehead, but held her, like he used to, when the world was smaller and they were enough for each other. He reached out, almost. His fingers twitched at his side. But then his phone buzzed, sharp, insistent. "Tokyo." He turned away. "I have to take this." She didn't move, didn't speak, just watched him walk to his desk, pick up the phone, slip effortlessly into Japanese, into CEO mode, into the man the world adored, the man she used to know. She turned to leave. "Sophia." She paused at the door. He didn't look up from his screen. "We'll do something this weekend. Just us. I promise." She didn't answer, just closed the door behind her. Softly, like she always did. Alone again, Lucas exhaled, ran a hand through his hair. He glanced toward the kitchen. He could smell the food, her lasagna, the recipe from her grandmother, the one she made when she was trying to fix things. He looked at his phone. The Tokyo call was wrapping up. He could still join her, sit with her, ask about her day, ask about Livia's song. But then his assistant buzzed in. "Mr. Varela, Isadora Montez just arrived at the gala. She's asking for you." Isadora. The name alone sent a pulse through him. Young, electric, unapologetic. She didn't ask for his time. She took it. She didn't wait for him. She made him chase her. And God, how he chased. He stood, straightened his tie, picked up his keys. He passed the fridge on his way out, paused, looked at the drawing. A stick figure man with a crown, Papa written in glitter glue. a smaller stick figure with pigtails. Me, and between them a heart. Big, red, crude, perfect. His throat tightened. He reached out, touched the paper, just for a second. Then he turned, walked out, didn't look back. Downstairs, his driver waited. The car purred to life. The city lights streaked past the window as they sped toward the gala, toward champagne and cameras and Isadora's laugh. Bright, sharp, intoxicating. He didn't see Sophia standing at the bedroom window, watching his car disappear into the night. Didn't see her press a hand to her stomach, gently, protectively. Didn't see the single tear slide down her cheek as she whispered to the darkness, "I'm sorry, meu amor. I tried to keep him here. I really did." She didn't know then. None of them did. That in her womb, a tiny heartbeat fluttered. A secret, a miracle, a storm waiting to break. And Lucas? He laughed with Isadora under flashing lights, drank champagne that tasted like ash, smiled for photos that would make headlines. He had everything, except the one thing that could have saved him. And he wouldn't realize it, not until it was almost too late. You feel it, don't you? That ache in your chest as she stands there, alone, hand on her belly, whispering to a child he doesn't even know exists. You feel the weight of his choices, each one a brick in the wall between them. You taste the bitterness of his excuses, the hollowness of his success. You want to scream at him. Turn around, look at her. She's right there. She's everything, but he doesn't. And that's the tragedy. Not the affair, not the divorce, not even the betrayal. It's the slow, quiet death of love, unnoticed until it's gone. You're not just watching Lucas lose his wife. You're watching him lose himself. And the worst part? He doesn't even know it yet. The gala music swells. Isadora leans into him, her perfume expensive, her smile practiced. She whispers something in his ear, and he laughs. Loud, performative. The cameras love it. But you're still back in that kitchen, with Sophia, with the drawing, with the secret growing inside her. And you know, deep in your bones, that this story isn't about a tycoon and a supermodel. It's about a man who traded his soul for a spotlight, and the woman who kept loving him anyway, even when he didn't deserve it, especially when he didn't deserve it. The night stretches on. Lucas dances, flirts, signs deals between sips of Dom Perignon. He feels powerful, desired, alive. But when he glances at his phone, no messages from Sophia. Not even a good night. It bothers him, more than it should. He brushes it off, orders another drink. Meanwhile, Sophia lies in bed, one hand on her stomach, the other clutching the pillow that still smells like him. She doesn't cry anymore. She's saving her tears, for when it really matters. You're there with her. You feel the cool sheets, the silence so heavy it presses on your lungs. You feel the tiny flutter beneath her palm, life, stubborn and brave, growing in the wreckage. And you wonder what happens when he finds out. What happens when the empire he built comes crashing down? Because of the child he never knew he had. You lean forward. You hold your breath. Because, you know, this is only the beginning. And the storm is just getting started. Certo, agora tu como narrador e storyteller desenvolva a historia sem marcacos com o nome de cada tópico que for desenvolve. Mi conti sobrio tópico tu com dialogo como su faço espectador. Sempre lembrando de desenvolver com vida moco. Com os sentimentos de forma que a estrutura de narrativa utiliza uma linha temporal linear de modo o espectador sentir o que o personagem está sentindo amigos. Com 6.000 characters com 3 max. Preview: the gala was a cathedral of vanity. Crystal chandeliers dripping light like liquid gold. Women in gowns that cost more than most people's rent. Men in tuxedos sharp enough to cut glass. Laughter rang too loud. Champagne flutes clinked like wind chimes in a hurricane. And every smile had a price. Lucas moved through it like a king surveying his court. Nodding, shaking hands, accepting praise with the ease of a man who'd heard it all before. But his mind kept drifting back. To the fridge. To the drawing. To Sophia's quiet voice saying, She waited until 9. He shoved it down, swallowed it with another sip of champagne. He was here now. This was his world. The real world. The important world. And then she walked in. Isadora Montes. The room didn't just turn. It bent toward her. Cameras flashed like lightning. Whispers rippled. Is that her? She's even more stunning in person. Did you see her Met Gala dress? And Lucas? He stopped breathing. She wore black, sleek, daring, slid up to the thigh, back plunging like a promise. Diamonds at her throat, hair like midnight silk, lips painted the color of sin. She scanned the room, not searching, claiming, and when her eyes landed on him, she smiled. Not sweet, not polite, hungry. He felt it in his gut. A pull, a dare, a reckoning. She glided toward him, hips swaying like a metronome set to seduction. He didn't move, couldn't. The noise around them faded. The music, the chatter, the clinking glasses, all swallowed by the sound of her heels on marble. Lucas Varela, she purred, stopping inches away. Her perfume, jasmine and something darker, smokier, wrapped around him like a secret. I've been waiting to meet you. He forced a smile. CEO smile, polished, detached. Isadora Montes, I'm flattered. Your face is everywhere. Not everywhere, she murmured, leaning in just enough that her breath brushed his ear. Not in your bed, yet. He stiffened, looked around. No one was close, but everyone was watching, always watching. You're bold, he said, voice low. I'm bored, she corrected, stepping back, eyes glinting. Billionaires are all the same, power suits and empty promises. But you, she tilted her head. I hear you actually build things, not just buy them. That's refreshing. He should have walked away, should have called his driver, should have gone home, should have texted Sophia, should have looked at his daughter's drawing again. He didn't. Instead, he raised his glass. To refreshing things. She clinked hers against it, smiled. To dangerous ones. They danced. Not the polite, distant sway of corporate spouses. No, this was slow, intimate. Her body pressed close, her hands sliding up his back, fingers tracing the line of his spine like she was memorizing it. He told himself it was just dancing, just business, just fun. But when she whispered, "You're tense, Lucas. What's wrong? Wife at home keeping you on a leash?" Something in him snapped. He pulled her closer. "She's not my jailer." "Then why do you look like you're serving a sentence?" He didn't answer, couldn't, because the truth was ugly. Because the truth was, I don't remember the last time I kissed her like this. I don't remember the last time I wanted to. Isadora felt it. Of course she did. She was a predator dressed in couture. She smelled weakness like blood in water. "Come with me," she murmured against his neck. Rooftop, fresh air, no cameras. He hesitated, just for a second. That's all she needed. The rooftop was cold. Wind tugged at her hair, at his tie. The city sprawled beneath them, endless, glittering, indifferent. She turned to him, back against the railing, eyes gleaming. "Better," he nodded, didn't trust his voice. She stepped closer. "You don't have to pretend with me, Lucas. I know what you are, what you want." "And what's that?" "Freedom." She touched his chest, lightly, deliberately, from the expectations, from the good husband act. You're not a supporting character in someone else's life. You're the lead. Act like it. He caught her wrist. Not hard, just enough to stop her. "You don't know me. I know men like you." She didn't pull away. Let him hold her. Smiled. "You build towers because you're afraid of being small. You chase deals because you're afraid of being still. You stay married because you're afraid of being alone. But me," she leaned in, "I'm not afraid of anything." He should have let go, should have stepped back, should have called security, should have remembered Sophia's face when she said, "I see you slipping away." He didn't. He kissed her, hard, desperate, like a man drowning and she was air. She kissed him back, teeth and tongue and triumph. When they broke apart, She laughed, low, throaty. Told you. Dangerous. He wiped his mouth, looked at the city, at his life, at the penthouse where Sophia was probably still awake, waiting for a text that would never come. What are we doing? He whispered. She traced his jaw. Finally living. He didn't go home that night. He told himself it was a mistake, a lapse, a moment of weakness. He told himself he'd end it tomorrow. He told himself a lot of things. Sophia didn't sleep. She sat by the window, phone in hand, screen dark. No calls, no texts. 2:17 a.m. She knew. Not the details, not the rooftop, not the kiss. But she knew. She'd seen the way Isadora looked at him in the society pages. The way he'd started working later. The way he'd stopped looking at her when she spoke. She pressed a hand to her stomach, closed her eyes. Hold on, meu anjo, she whispered. Mama's here. I won't let him break us. The next morning, Lucas stumbled into the penthouse at 7 a.m. Tie loose, cologne masking something sweeter, her perfume. Sophia was in the kitchen, making coffee, wearing his old college sweatshirt, hair in a messy bun, no makeup, beautiful in a way that hurt. She didn't turn around. You're home. He froze. Yeah, late night. Closed the Nakamura deal. She poured the coffee, set a cup aside, black, 2 sugars. His usual. You should eat something, she said softly. You'll get a headache. He stared at her back, at the way her shoulders curved, fragile but strong, at the way she moved, familiar, comforting home. He wanted to tell her, wanted to fall to his knees and beg forgiveness, wanted to say, it meant nothing. It was a mistake. I love you. Only you. He didn't. He walked past her, grabbed the coffee. I have a meeting in an hour. She turned then, just slightly, eyes tired, resigned. Lucas, are you happy? The question hit him like a fist. He didn't answer, couldn't, because if he said no, he'd have to face what he'd done. And if he said yes, he'd be lying. He walked out. That afternoon, Isadora texted him. Missed you this morning. My bed's too big without you. Come over tonight? I'll cook. Kidding. We'll order in. He stared at the message, thumbed over Sophia's contact, hovered, didn't call, texted back. What time? Sophia found the earring. Tiny. Diamond. Not hers. Under the couch in his study. She picked it up, held it in her palm. Cold. Hard. Expensive. She didn't cry, didn't scream, just closed her fingers around it, tight, until the edges bit into her skin. Then she walked to the balcony, looked out at the city, same view he had when he kissed Isadora. Same city, different worlds. She opened her hand, let the wind take it, watched it disappear, like her marriage, like her trust, like the man she thought he was. That night, Lucas came home late again, smelled like her perfume. Again, Sophia was in bed, facing the wall. He stood in the doorway, watched her breathe, slow, steady, faking sleep. He wanted to say something. I'm sorry. I love you. I don't know what's happening to me. He didn't. He turned off the light, got in bed, on his side, far from her. Silence. Thick, heavy, final. You feel it, don't you? The betrayal isn't in the kiss. Not really. It's in the coffee she made him anyway. It's in the way she still set his cup just right. It's in the way she didn't confront him. Not because she was weak, but because she was protecting something bigger than her broken heart. You feel the weight of his silence, the cowardice in his avoidance, the way he chose the thrill over the truth. And you hate him for it, but you also understand, because you've been there, chasing something shiny to fill a hole you're too scared to name. Isadora laughs in his ear over the phone. You're thinking about her, aren't you? He doesn't answer. Don't, she says, voice sharp now. She's your past. I'm your future. Choose. He closes his eyes. Chooses. Sophia lies awake, hand on her belly, whispering promises to a child who doesn't even know her father is already leaving them. I'll be enough, she breathes. I'll be everything. And you? You believe her. Because you've seen her strength. And you've seen his weakness. Lucas stopped sleeping in their bed. Started taking late meetings that lasted until dawn. Stopped asking about Livia's drawings. Stopped kissing Sophia goodbye. Stopped looking at her at all. And Sophia? She stopped waiting up. Stopped setting his coffee. Stopped pretending she didn't smell Isadora's perfume clinging to his collar like a declaration. She moved through the penthouse like a ghost. Quiet, pale, hollow-eyed. But inside she was steel. Every morning, she placed a hand on her belly. Still flat, still secret, and whispered, "We're okay, Meu Anjo. We're going to be okay." She didn't cry. Not in front of the staff. Not in front of Livia. Not even when she found the hotel receipt in his coat pocket. Suite 1408. Champagne. Strawberries. 11:47 p.m. She tucked it away. Didn't confront him. Because confrontation meant chaos. And chaos meant risk. And she couldn't risk this baby. Not yet. Then came the gala. The one everyone would be at. The one Isadora was hosting. The one Lucas had forgotten to mention. Sophia found the invitation tucked inside his briefcase. Gold embossed, dripping with arrogance. An evening with Isadora Montes and Lucas Varela. Celebrating the future. Future. The word mocked her. She stood in the walk-in closet, staring at the invitation, fingers trembling. Behind her, Livia giggled, playing with her dolls on the plush rug. "Mama, look, Princess Sophia is marrying Prince Lucas again." Sophia closed her eyes, swallowed hard. "Not this time, meu amor," she whispered. The night of the gala, Lucas came home to change. He didn't expect her to be dressed, didn't expect her to be waiting. But there she was, wearing the emerald gown he'd bought her for their 10th anniversary. The one she'd saved for something truly special. Hair swept up, lips painted, eyes dry, steady. He froze in the doorway. "What are you doing?" She turned, slowly, gracefully, like a queen facing exile. "I'm your wife, Lucas. I belong on your arm, at your events, in your life." His jaw tightened. "This isn't that kind of event." "What kind is it?" she asked, voice soft. "Dangerous. The kind where you stand beside her? The kind where the press takes photos of you two like you're the next power couple? The kind where you pretend I don't exist?" He stepped closer. "Don't make a scene." "I'm not making a scene," she said, adjusting her earring. A simple pearl. Elegant. Timeless. Unlike Isadora's diamonds. "I'm attending my husband's gala. As his wife. Nothing more. Nothing less." He grabbed her wrist. Not hard, but firm. "Sophia, don't do this. It's not what you think." She didn't pull away, just looked at him straight in the eyes. The way she used to when they were young and the world was small and he was hers. "What is it, then, Lucas? Tell me, what is it?" He opened his mouth, closed it. No answer. She smiled, sad, resigned. "That's what I thought." She pulled her wrist free, smoothed her dress, picked up her clutch. "I'll meet you there." The car ride was silent. Lucas stared out the window. Sophia stared straight ahead. When they arrived, the paparazzi went wild. "Lucas, over here." "Sophia, are you two back together?" "Isadora's inside. Are you ready for this?" Lucas forced a smile, took Sophia's arm, stiff, formal. She didn't flinch, walked beside him like she owned the red carpet. Because she did. This was her marriage. Her name, her dignity. Let them take their photos. Let them whisper. Let them watch. Inside, the ballroom glittered. Chandeliers, champagne towers. Isadora holding court in a silver gown that left nothing to the imagination. She saw them. Her smile didn't falter, but her eyes, cold, calculating. She glided over, air-kissed Sophia's cheek. "Darling, you came. I was so worried you'd be indisposed." Sophia smiled back. "Polished, perfect. Wouldn't miss my husband's big night." Isadora's gaze flicked to Lucas. "Sweet of you to escort her, Lucas. Very gallant." Lucas cleared his throat. Sophia's my wife. Where else would she be? Isadora laughed. Light, musical, fake, of course. How traditional. She turned away, calling over her shoulder. Don't wander off, Lucas. The press wants our photo at 9. You know, the power couple shot. Sophia didn't react, just sipped her water, smiled at strangers, nodded politely. Inside, she was breaking, but no one saw. At 8:58 p.m., Lucas leaned close. I need to go. They're waiting. Sophia didn't look at him. Of course. He hesitated. You can stay. Enjoy the party. She finally turned, looked at him, really looked. You go. I'll be right behind you. He nodded, walked away, straight to Isadora, straight to the photographers, straight into the shot that would break her. Sophia watched from the edge of the room, watched him stand beside Isadora, close, too close, watched Isadora drape herself over him, hand on his chest, head on his shoulder, watched the cameras flash, capturing every intimate angle, watched the headline write itself. Tycoon ditches wife for supermodel love and business blossoms at gala. She didn't move, didn't cry, didn't scream, just stood there, hand on her belly, breathing in. At 9:15 p.m., Lucas found her. She was by the balcony doors, staring out at the city. Sophia. Don't, she said, voice quiet, steady. Just don't. He stepped closer. It's not what it looks like. It's business. The press, she repeated, turning to face him. Is that what we're calling it now? The press made you put your arm around her waist? The press made you kiss her temple for the cameras? The press made you forget you have a daughter who drew you a crown last week? He flinched. Good. You want to know what the press will say tomorrow? She whispered. They'll say Lucas Varela traded his family for a headline. And they'll be right. He grabbed her arm. Sophia, listen to me. She yanked free. No, you listen. I stood by you when you worked 80-hour weeks. I smiled at your galas when I was exhausted. I forgave your absences, your distance, your indifference. But this, she gestured toward the ballroom, toward Isadora laughing in his chair. This is not a mistake. This is a choice. And you chose her. He opened his mouth. She held up a hand. Save it. I'm leaving. She didn't wait for the car. Didn't wait for him to follow. Walked out alone, heels clicking on marble, head high, back straight. The paparazzi swarmed. Sophia, is it true? Are you two divorcing? Sophia, how do you feel about Lucas and Isadora? Sophia, look this way. She didn't stop, didn't speak, just walked, until she was out of frame, out of sight, out of his life. Lucas didn't follow, didn't call, didn't text. He stayed, danced with Isadora, smiled for the cameras, signed the deal, became the man the world wanted. Sophia didn't go home, couldn't, not to that penthouse, not to those memories, not to that life. She went to her sister's apartment, small, warm, safe, collapsed on the couch. Finally, she let herself cry. Great, heaving sobs that shook her whole body. Hand pressed to her stomach. I'm sorry, she choked out. I'm so sorry I couldn't protect you from this. From him. Her sister held her, didn't speak, just rocked her, like she was a child, like she was broken. At 3 a.m., Lucas stumbled into the penthouse, drunk, triumphant, alone. He expected her to be waiting, angry, tearful, begging. She wasn't. He found her note on the kitchen counter. Simple, typed, no tears smudged the ink. Lucas, I'm gone. Don't look for me. Don't call. Don't send lawyers. I don't want your money. I don't want your pity. I just want to be free of you. You made your choice. Now live with it. Sophia, he stared at it. Read it 3 times. Crumbled it in his fist. Poured himself a drink. Sat in the dark. Alone. The next morning, the headlines exploded. Tycoon dumps wife for supermodel. Sources say divorce imminent. Isadora and Lucas. Power couple or publicity stunt? Where is Sofia Varela? Inside her shocking disappearance, Lucas called his lawyers. File for divorce. Full custody of Livia. I want it clean, fast, quiet. They hesitated. Sir, the child is young. The court may... I don't care what the court may do. Make it happen. Sofia saw the headlines on her sister's tablet. Watched the video. Lucas, smiling, arm around Isadora, saying, "New beginnings require bold choices." She turned off the screen. Didn't cry, didn't rage, just placed both hands on her belly and whispered, "We're free, meu anjo, and we're never going back." You feel it, don't you? The finality, the door slamming shut, the life she knew gone. Not with a bang, not with a fight, with a whisper, a typed note, a silent exit, a child growing inside her, her only anchor. You want to scream at Lucas. Look what you've done. Look what you've lost. But he won't listen. He's too busy posing for photos, too busy signing deals, too busy falling for the woman who sees him as a trophy, not a man. And Sofia? She's already gone. Not just from the penthouse, from the person she was. The wife, the shadow, the afterthought. She's becoming something else now. Something fiercer, something stronger, something he won't recognize when he finally comes looking. And he will come looking. You know it. The story's not over. It's just beginning. Because secrets have a way of surfacing. And children, they have a way of changing everything. Sofia packs a single suitcase that night. Clothes, Livia's favorite stuffed rabbit. The ultrasound photo still hidden, still secret. A one-way ticket to a coastal town no one will think to check. She doesn't look back, doesn't hesitate, just steps onto the train, hand on her belly, eyes forward, heart shattered, but beating, still beating. Lucas marries Isadora 3 months later, on a yacht, in Cannes, cover of every magazine. He smiles in every photo, but his eyes, empty, haunted. He doesn't know why. Sofia gives birth in a small clinic, alone, except for her sister, and the midwife, and the tiny, screaming miracle she pulls into the world. She looks at her daughter, pink, perfect, his eyes, and whispers, "Welcome to the world, Livia. Mama's got you, always." She doesn't put his name on the birth certificate, doesn't tell a soul. Lucas toasts his new wife on the yacht. Cheers to the future. Isadora kisses him. He doesn't feel it. Sofia rocks her baby to sleep that night, sings softly, cries silently, loves fiercely. You lean forward, heart pounding, because you know, she's perfect. The midwife whispered, smiling. 10 fingers, 10 toes, strong lungs. Sofia couldn't speak, couldn't breathe, just stared. At the curve of that tiny ear, at the slope of that little nose, at the way her tiny fingers curled, just like his. Her stomach dropped, not from pain, from fear, from recognition. Oh God, no. She pulled the baby closer, fiercely, protectively, as if she could shield her from the truth just by holding her tighter. The baby whimpered, rooting instinctively, and Sofia guided her to her breast, trembling. "Shoo, meu anjo," she whispered, voice breaking. "Mama's here. I've got you. I'll always have you." Her sister, Anna, stood by the bed, eyes wet, hand on Sofia's shoulder. "She's beautiful, Sof. Absolutely beautiful." Sofia nodded, unable to speak, unable to look away from the baby's face, from the undeniable truth written in her features, the shape of her brow, the curve of her upper lip, even the way her dark lashes fanned against her cheeks. Lucas, it was him, in her, in this tiny, helpless, perfect creature. Anna must have seen it too. The way Sofia's breath hitched, the way her fingers tightened around the blanket. "Sof?" Anna's voice was soft, careful. "Do you want to talk about it?" Sofia shook her head, fast, frantic. "No, not now. Please." Anna didn't push, just squeezed her shoulder. "Okay, rest. I'll take care of everything." The next morning, sunlight streamed through the thin curtains of the rented cottage, soft, golden, forgiving. The baby slept in a bassinet beside the bed, swaddled in a pale yellow blanket, mouth slightly open, breathing slow and even. Sophia sat up slowly, wincing at the ache between her legs, at the heaviness in her chest. She reached for the baby, not to feed, not to soothe, to look. She lifted her gently, cradling her in trembling arms, studying her face in the daylight. There was no denying it now. The resemblance wasn't just in her imagination. It was in the arch of her eyebrows, in the slight dimple on her left cheek when she slept, in the stubborn set of her chin even now in sleep. His chin, his child. She pressed her lips to the baby's forehead, warm, milky, innocent. "I'm so sorry," she whispered, voice thick with tears. "I didn't mean for you to be his. I didn't plan this. I didn't want this for you." The baby stirred, tiny fists curling, but didn't wake. Sophia rocked her gently, humming a lullaby her own mother used to sing, soft, Portuguese, full of longing. She thought of Lucas, of his cold eyes at the gala, of his hand on Isidora's waist, of the way he'd looked at her, Sophia, like she was furniture, background noise. And now he had a daughter he didn't know, a daughter he didn't want, a daughter who would grow up without him. Good, a voice inside her hissed. Let him rot in his gilded cage. Let him pose for photos with his supermodel while his real child learns to walk without him. But another voice, quieter, softer, whispered, "She deserves to know him, even if he doesn't deserve her." Sophia closed her eyes. Tears slipped down her cheeks. "No," she whispered to herself. "No, she deserves better than him. She deserves a father who chooses her, who fights for her, who sees her." And Lucas? He hadn't seen her in months, hadn't asked about Livia, his other daughter, since the divorce papers were signed. Why would he care about this one? She kissed the baby's forehead again. "I'll be enough," she promised. "I'll be everything. You'll never feel his absence. I swear it." That afternoon, Anna helped her fill out the birth certificate. Name, Livia Sofia Costa. Father, unknown. Sophia hesitated, pen hovering over the blank line. Her hand shook. Anna watched her, silent. "Sof, if you want to put his name." No, the word came out sharp, final. "He's not her father, not in any way that matters." Anna nodded, didn't argue, just placed a hand over Sophia's. "Then we do it your way, always." Sophia signed, hands still trembling, heart still breaking, but resolve, iron. The first night home in the cottage, rain tapping against the windows, wind sighing through the trees. Sophia sat in the rocking chair, Livia asleep against her chest, and made a list. Not a to-do list, a never list. Never let him near her unless he's changed. Never let Isidora's name cross her lips. Never let her feel like she's less because her father didn't want her. Never let her doubt she is loved. Fiercely, completely, unconditionally, she folded the paper, tucked it into the back of Livia's baby book. Then she kissed her daughter's head. "Mama's promises," she whispered, "and I never break them." Weeks passed. Livia grew, smiled for the first time. A gummy, lopsided grin that shattered Sophia's heart into a million glittering pieces. Rolled over, giggled at the ceiling fan, reached for Sophia's face with tiny, determined hands. And with every milestone, Sophia fell deeper. Not just in love, in devotion. This child, this tiny, fierce, perfect soul was her redemption. Her reason, her everything. She painted again, soft watercolors of Livia sleeping, Livia bathed in sunlight, Livia wrapped in blankets like a little burrito. She sold a few at the local market. Enough to buy diapers. Enough to buy time. Enough to stay hidden. Lucas, meanwhile, was everywhere. Magazine covers. Business journals. Red carpets with Isadora. Her hand always on his arm. Her smile always too wide. Her eyes always scanning for the next camera. He looked hollow. Even in photos, something was missing. His smile didn't reach his eyes. His posture was stiff, like he was playing a role he no longer believed in. Sophia saw it once. A paparazzi shot of him at an airport, alone for a moment, head bowed, fingers rubbing his temples. She stared at it for a long time, felt nothing, no anger, no longing, just pity. You traded us for this? She thought. For emptiness dressed in diamonds? She closed the tab, turned back to Livia, who was babbling happily in her playpen, drooling on a stuffed rabbit. Worth it, she thought. Every second of pain. Worth it for her. Then, one evening, as she rocked Livia to sleep, humming that same lullaby, Livia opened her eyes, really looked at her and cooed, "Mama!" Not a babble, not a coincidence. "Mama!" Sophia froze. Tears flooded her eyes. She pressed her lips to Livia's forehead, over and over, whispering, "Yes, meu anjo. Mama. Always mama." Livia smiled, sleepy, content, and snuggled closer. Sophia held her tighter, and for the first time since the gala, since the note, since the divorce, she felt whole. Not because Lucas was gone, but because she was enough. You feel it, don't you? The quiet power in her choice, the ferocity in her love, the way she turns her pain into protection. You want to reach through the screen, wrap your arms around her, around Livia, around this tiny, perfect life they're building in the shadows. You want to scream at the world. Look at them. Look at what real love looks like. Not the flashbulbs, not the yachts, not the designer gowns. This rocking chair, this lullaby, this whispered promise in the dark. This is where the real story lives. But you also feel the dread, the ticking clock, because secrets like this, they don't stay buried. Not when the father is a man like Lucas, not when the child carries his face, not when fate has a way of circling back. One day he'll see her, one day he'll know, and when he does, he'll come running, begging, pleading, promising to change. And Sophia, she'll have to decide. Does she let him in? Does she risk her daughter's heart for a man who broke hers? Does she trust the man who chose a supermodel over his own family? You hold your breath, because you know, the storm isn't over, it's gathering, and when it breaks, nothing will be the same. Sophia kisses Livia's forehead one last time, whispers, "Sleep, meu amor. Mama's right here," turns off the light, sits in the dark, hand on her daughter's back, eyes open, waiting, because she knows he's out there, and one day he'll find them. The question isn't if, it's when, and what she'll do when he does. You lean closer, heart pounding, because you're not just watching a mother protect her child. You're watching a woman prepare for war, and this time, she won't lose. Isadora leaned into him, lips brushing his ear. "Smile bigger, darling. They love you when you look like you've won." He forced the corners of his mouth higher, felt nothing, absolutely nothing. Not even when she pressed her body against his, not even when she whispered, "Let's sneak away after dessert. I'm bored of these people." He nodded, didn't care. His phone buzzed in his pocket. He pulled it out, a notification from his lawyer. Divorce finalized. Custody of Livia Varela granted to mother. Visitation supervised, once monthly, if requested. He stared at the words. Livia, his daughter, the one who used to draw him crowns, the one who waited until 9 for him to come to her recital, the one he hadn't seen in 8 months. He swallowed, didn't reply, shoved the phone back in his pocket. Isadora noticed. Of course she did. She traced a finger down his chest. "Thinking about your ex?" He didn't answer. She laughed, light, mocking. "Still hung up on the little housewife? Lucas, she's gone. She chose to disappear. That's not your fault." He looked at her then, really looked, at the sharp angles of her cheekbones, at the gloss of her lips, at the emptiness behind her eyes. She was beautiful, perfect, exactly what he thought he wanted. So why did he feel like he was suffocating? "Excuse me," he muttered, pulling away. He walked to the balcony. Glass doors sliding shut behind him, muting the noise, the music, the lies. The city sprawled beneath him, endless, glittering, indifferent. just like before. But now it felt like a cage. He gripped the railing, knuckles white, closed his eyes, and for the first time in months, he let himself remember Sophia's laugh, real, unguarded. The one she used when they were alone, when she thought no one was watching. The way she used to hum while cooking, off-key, joyful. The weight of her head on his shoulder during movies. The smell of her hair, vanilla and rain. The way she looked at him, like he was everything. Before he made her nothing. He opened his eyes, looked down at his hands. What have I done? The thought hit him like a fist. He stumbled back from the railing, ran a hand through his hair, breathed, ragged, uneven. He pulled out his phone again, thumbed to Sophia's contact, stared at it, hesitated. Then, before he could stop himself, he typed, "How is she?" He hovered over send, heart pounding, sweat on his palms. He deleted it, typed again, "I miss her." Deleted. "I'm sorry." Deleted. "Can we talk?" He stared at the screen, fingers trembling. Then a shadow fell over him. Isadora. She didn't speak, just held out a fresh glass of champagne. Smiled. He took it, drank it in one gulp. Didn't taste it. Inside, the party raged on. Isadora pulled him onto the dance floor, hips swaying, hands roaming, lips grazing his neck. He went through the motions, smiled for the cameras, laughed at the right moments. But inside, he was screaming. Later, in bed, silk sheets, city lights filtering through floor-to-ceiling windows. Isadora straddled him, nails digging into his chest, breath hot against his skin. "Say my name," she whispered. He closed his eyes, didn't speak. She kissed him hard, demanding, "Say it." He turned his head, couldn't. She sat back, frowning. "What's wrong with you tonight?" He sat up, pushing her off gently. "I'm just tired." "Tired?" She laughed sharp, cold. "Or thinking about her again?" He didn't answer. She grabbed his chin, forced him to look at her. "Listen to me, Lucas. She's gone. She doesn't want you. She left. That's on her. Not you. You're with me now. The world's most desired man with the world's most desired woman. Act like it." He pulled away, stood, walked to the window, stared out at the skyline. "Do you ever feel empty?" he asked, voice quiet. She scoffed. "Only when my closet's not full enough." He didn't laugh, didn't turn around, just whispered, "I think I made a mistake." She was silent for a long moment. Then footsteps, the rustle of silk, the click of heels. She stopped beside him, looked out at the city. "You didn't make a mistake," she said, voice low, dangerous. "You made a choice, and choices have consequences. Live with it." She walked away, left him alone. He didn't sleep, just sat on the edge of the bed, staring at his phone, at Sophia's contact, at the unsent messages, at the photo he kept hidden in his cloud. Livia, age 3, holding up a drawing that said, "I love Papa." He zoomed in, traced her smile with his thumb. His throat tightened. He opened a new message. Typed, "I'm sorry." Sent it. Immediately regretted it. Waited. No reply. Of course not. Why would she answer? He tossed the phone aside, ran his hands over his face, felt the tears, hot, shameful, real, slide down his cheeks. He didn't wipe them away, just let them fall. For the first time in years. The next morning, Isadora was gone. A note on the counter. "Gone to Milan for shoot. Back in 2 weeks. Don't wait up." He didn't care. Just poured coffee, sat at the table, stared at the city, felt the silence. It was louder than the party, louder than Isadora's laugh, louder than his own heartbeat. He called his assistant. "Cancel my afternoon meetings." "Sir? The Tokyo investors." "Cancel them." "Yes, sir." He hung up, stared at the wall. Then, before he could think, he grabbed his keys, got in the car, drove, not to the office, not to the gym, not to Isadora's favorite boutique, to the old neighborhood, to the park where he used to take Livia on Sundays. Before the gala, Before Isadora, before everything fell apart. He parked, walked, sat on a bench, watched children play, watched fathers lift their daughters onto swings, watched mothers kiss scraped knees. He clenched his fists, felt the ache, deep, gnawing, unbearable. He pulled out his phone again, opened Sophia's contact, typed, "Please, just tell me she's okay." Sent it, waited, nothing. He stood, walked to the swings, sat on one. Too big, ridiculous, but he didn't care. Closed his eyes, remembered Livia's laughter, her tiny hands gripping the chains, her voice, "Higher, Papa, higher." He opened his eyes, looked at the empty swing beside him, felt the tears again. This time he didn't fight them. That night, alone in the penthouse, he poured a drink, sat in the dark, stared at his phone. Still no reply. He opened his laptop, typed Sophia's name into the search bar, scrolled through old articles, old photos, found one her at an art fair smiling, holding a painting. Hair shorter, eyes brighter, happier. His chest tightened. He clicked, zoomed in, and there, in the background, barely visible, a stroller. His breath caught. He zoomed in further. Couldn't see the baby's face, but the blanket, pale yellow, the same one from the hospital. His hands shook. He leaned closer, heart pounding. No, it can't be. He scrolled frantically, found another photo, her buying groceries, stroller beside her. Another, her at the beach, baby in her arms, face turned away. But the shape of the head, the way Sophia held her, the way she looked at her, like she was the sun, the moon, the entire damn universe. Oh God. He stood, knocked over the glass, didn't care, ran to his desk, grabbed his phone, dialed his lawyer. "Find her," he said, voice raw, desperate. "Find Sophia. Now, I don't care how much it costs. I need to know where she is. I need to know." He stopped, swallowed, whispered, "I need to know if she has another child." Silence on the other end. Then, "Sir, are you sure?" "I'm sure," he choked out. "Just find her." He hung up, sat back down, stared at the photos, at the stroller, at the blanket, at the way Sophia looked, not broken, not lost, free, and happy. Without him, the realization hit him like a truck. She didn't need him. She never did. But he needed her. More than the empire, more than the money, more than his own name. He buried his face in his hands and sobbed. You feel it, don't you? The unraveling, the slow, brutal collapse of a man who thought he had everything, only to realize he threw it all away for nothing. You want to hate him. You do hate him. But you also feel it, the raw, ragged edges of his regret. The way he sits on that swing, broken, remembering his daughter's laughter. The way he stares at that photo, realizing Sophia moved on, thrived, without him. The way he sobs in the dark, finally facing the truth. He didn't lose her. He let her go. And now he's desperate to get her back. But it's too late, isn't it? You lean forward, heart pounding, because you know, he's going to find them. He's going to show up, begging, pleading, promising to change. And Sophia, she'll be ready. She's not the woman he left. She's stronger, fiercer, a mother who will burn the world down to protect her child. And Livia, she's the secret, the bomb, the reckoning. The storm isn't coming. It's here, and it's going to tear everything apart. Lucas stares at the photos all night, at the stroller, at the blanket, at Sophia's smile. And for the first time in years, he prays, not for forgiveness, not for redemption, just for time. Time to fix this. Time to earn her back. Time to meet his daughter. But time doesn't care about billionaires. Time doesn't wait. And Sophia, she's not waiting either. You hold your breath, because the clock is ticking. And when it strikes, nothing will ever be the same. Lucas closes his laptop, wipes his face, stares at his reflection in the dark window. A ghost, a shell, a man who traded love for a lie. He whispers, I'm coming, Sophia. I'm coming, Livia. I swear it. But the question isn't if he'll find them, it's what happens when he does. And you're not just watching, you're bracing, because this is where the real story begins. The war is coming, and this time, Sophia won't be fighting alone. She'll have Livia, and Livia, she'll have her mother's strength, and her father's face. Mama, that's mine. The one with the blue sky and the yellow sun and the bunny with wings. Sophia smiled. Yes, meu amor. You painted that all by yourself. Livia beamed, tugging Sophia's hand. Come on. I want to show everyone. Sophia let herself be pulled, heart swelling with every step. This was her world now, small, quiet, real. No paparazzi, no penthouses, no Isadora. Just art, just rain, just her daughter's laughter ringing like bells in the hollow spaces Lucas left behind. She didn't see him, not at first. He stood near the entrance, coat damp from the rain, hair slightly tousled, eyes scanning the room like a man searching for salvation. And then he saw her, Sophia, laughing, radiant, alive. His breath caught. He didn't move, didn't blink, just watched. Watched the way she bent down to listen to Livia. Watched the way she tucked a curl behind her daughter's ear. Watched the way she looked at her, like she was the only thing in the world that mattered. And then Livia turned, looked right at him, smiled bright, innocent, unafraid. And Lucas, he froze, because those eyes, not just the shape, not just the color, the spark, the mischief, the quiet, stubborn fire, his eyes, in her face, in his daughter's face, his knees nearly buckled. He gripped the doorframe to steady himself, heart hammering, throat dry. Oh God, it's her. It's really her. Sophia felt it before she saw it. The shift in the air, the sudden stillness, the weight of a gaze she hadn't felt in years. She turned, and there he was, Lucas, older, thinner, eyes shadowed, haunted, desperate, staring at Livia like he was seeing a ghost. Her blood turned to ice. She didn't move, didn't speak, just pulled Livia closer, subtly, protectively, and met his gaze. No fear, no anger, just warning. Don't you dare. He took a step forward, then another, stopped a few feet away, looked at Livia, really looked, then voice trembling, barely above a whisper, "Hi." Livia tilted her head. "Hi." Sophia's grip tightened. Lucas swallowed. "What's your name?" "Livia," she chirped, bouncing on her toes. "I'm 4, and I painted that." She pointed to her painting. "The bunny has wings, 'cause Mama says I can fly if I believe hard enough." Lucas's lips twitched, almost a smile, almost a sob. "That's beautiful." Livia grinned. "You like bunnies?" He nodded. "I do." "Then you're nice." She turned to Sophia. "Mama, can he come see my painting?" Sophia didn't answer right away, just looked at Lucas, eyes hard, voice low. "Don't." He met her gaze. "I just want to look." "You've looked enough." Livia tugged her hand. "Mama, please. He's nice." Sophia closed her eyes, took a breath, then slowly nodded. "Fine. 1 minute." Lucas exhaled, shaky, relieved, followed them to the painting, stood beside Sophia, close enough to feel her tension, far enough to respect it. Livia pointed excitedly. "See? The bunny's flying 'cause it's brave, and the sun is smiling 'cause it's happy, and the flowers are dancing 'cause Mama says even flowers get happy when it rains." Lucas crouched down, eye level with her. "You're very talented, Livia." She beamed. "Thank you." "Do you paint?" He shook his head. "No, but I build things. Like Legos?" He chuckled, soft, surprised. "Like buildings? Big ones?" "Whoa!" She turned to Sophia. "Mama, he builds buildings. Like castles?" Sophia didn't smile. "Some of them." Livia turned back to Lucas, eyes wide. "Can you build me a castle? With a moat and a dragon and a princess tower?" Lucas's throat worked. I'd like that." Sophia stepped in then, gently, firmly. All right, meu amor. Time to go. Livia pouted. But mama... Now, Livia. Livia sighed. Turned to Lucas. Bye, Mr. Buildings. Come see my next painting. Okay? He nodded fast, desperate. I will. I promise. Sophia took Livia's hand. Walked away. Didn't look back. Lucas didn't move. Just watched them go. Sophia's hand tight around Livia's. Livia skipping, chattering about castles and dragons, completely unaware that the man behind her was her father. His daughter. His real daughter. Not the one he'd abandoned. Not the one he'd traded for headlines. This one. The one with his eyes. His smile. His stubborn chin. The one Sophia had hidden from him. The one he didn't even know existed. He sank onto a bench, buried his face in his hands, trembling. Oh God, Sophia, what have you done? What have I done? Outside, Sophia buckled Livia into the car. Livia chattered happily. Mama, that man was so nice. He liked my painting. Do you think he'll come to my next show? Sophia's hands shook as she fastened the seatbelt. Maybe, meu amor. Livia grinned. I hope so. He's funny. Sophia closed the door, leaned against the car, closed her eyes, breathed. In. He saw her. He knows. It's starting. Her phone buzzed in her pocket. She pulled it out. A text. From Lucas. Sophia, please, just 5 minutes. I need to talk to you. She stared at it, thumb hovering over the screen. Livia's voice floated from the car. Mama? Are you okay? Sophia opened her eyes, wiped her face, forced a smile, opened the car door. Yes, meu amor. I'm okay. She got in, started the car, drove away, didn't reply. Lucas waited, in the rain, on the gallery steps, phone in hand, staring at the empty street. No reply. Of course not. Why would she answer? He stood, walked to his car, got in, didn't start the engine, just sat there, staring at his phone, at the unsent messages. She's mine, isn't she? You hid her from me. Why didn't you tell me? I'm her father. He deleted them all, typed one more. I'm not going away, Sophia. I need to know her. I need to know you. Sent it. Then, before he could stop himself, he added, please. Sophia saw it, felt it, the weight of that word. Please. The first time he'd ever begged. She closed her eyes. Tears slipped down her cheeks. Livia slept in the back seat, exhausted from the excitement, curled up with her stuffed bunny, mouth slightly open, breathing slow and even. Sophia reached back, touched her cheek. Soft, warm, perfect. He wants to know you, meu anjo. He wants to be your father. But what happens when he gets bored? When Isadora calls? When the next gala, the next deal, the next shiny thing pulls him away? What happens when he breaks your heart like he broke mine? She pulled her hand back, gripped the steering wheel, drove faster. That night, Lucas sat in his penthouse. Alone, dark, silent. Isadora was in Paris. The city glittered below him. He didn't see it, just saw Livia's smile. Her eyes, his eyes. He opened his laptop, pulled up the gallery photos, zoomed in on Livia, zoomed in on Sophia, zoomed in on the way they looked at each other, like the rest of the world didn't exist. He closed the laptop, poured a drink, didn't touch it, just stared at the wall, whispered, I'm going to fix this. I swear it. Sophia sat on Livia's bed that night, watching her sleep, listening to her soft breaths, memorizing the curve of her cheek, the flutter of her lashes. She pulled out her phone, stared at Lucas's text. Please. Her thumb hovered over the keyboard. For a long time, then slowly, she typed, You don't get to say please. Not after what you did. She stared at it, deleted it, typed, Stay away from us. Deleted it, typed, She doesn't need you. Deleted it. Finally, after 10 minutes of trembling, of tears, of heartbreak, she typed, If you want to see her again, you'll do it my way. No lawyers, no press, no Isadora, just you, quiet, patient, prove you've changed. She stared at the screen, heart pounding, finger hovering over send. Then, before she could stop herself, she pressed send. Lucas's phone buzzed. He lunged for it. Read the message. Read it again and again. Then, for the first time in years, he smiled. Real, raw, hopeful. He typed back immediately, anything, everything. I'll do whatever it takes. Sophia read it, closed her eyes, whispered, God help me. You feel it, don't you? The tension, the dread, the fragile, trembling hope. He's back, not as the tycoon, not as the husband, as the father. And Sophia, she's letting him in, just a crack, just enough to see if he's changed, just enough to risk her daughter's heart. You hold your breath, because you know, this isn't a reunion, this is a test. And if he fails, it won't just break Sophia, it'll break Livia. The storm isn't coming, it's here, and it's holding its breath, waiting, watching, to see if Lucas Varela is still the man who chose a supermodel over his family, or if he's finally ready to fight for them. You lean closer, eyes wide, heart racing, because this is where everything changes. And you're not just watching, you're terrified. For Livia, for Sophia, for the man who just might be worth forgiving. She's mine. The thought wouldn't leave him. It pulsed behind his eyes, echoed in his chest, haunted his silence. Livia, his daughter, his, not a maybe, not a suspicion, not a hope, a fact. He'd seen it in her eyes, his eyes, in the way she tilted her head when she was curious, just like he did, in the stubborn set of her chin when Sophia told her it was time to go, his chin, in the way she laughed, bright, unguarded, fearless. His laugh, the one he hadn't heard from himself in years. He stood, paced, ran his hands through his hair, stopped in front of the mirror, stared at the man looking back, hollow-eyed, unshaven, trembling with something between terror and euphoria. What if I'm not enough? What if she hates me? What if Sophia never lets me in? He turned away, couldn't look at himself. Not yet. Not until he really knew that Livia was his. Because hope wasn't enough. Love wasn't enough. Proof was. And he needed it. Now, he called the detective at 6:17 a.m. voice raw, urgent. I need you to find out who Livia's father is. Silence on the other end. Then, sir, you mean... Yes? Lucas cut in, voice breaking. Yes, I think she's mine. But I need to know. I need proof. DNA. Whatever it takes. Quietly. Discreetly. I don't care how much it costs. Just do it. The detective hesitated. This is legally complicated. If Ms. Costa finds out, I don't care, Lucas whispered. I need to know. Please. Pause. Then, I'll start today. The next 3 days were hell. Lucas canceled meetings, ignored Isadora's increasingly furious texts, sat in his office, staring at his phone, jumping at every notification. He watched the gallery video again, the one someone had posted online, zoomed in on Livia's face, paused it, studied her, compared it to baby photos of himself. It was her. It had to be her. But doubt gnawed at him. What if he was wrong? What if this was just another cruel trick of fate? What if Sophia had moved on, truly moved on, and Livia belonged to someone else? The thought made him physically ill. He vomited in his office bathroom, sat on the cold tile floor, head in his hands, shaking. Please, please let her be mine. The detective called on the 4th day. Lucas answered on the first ring. Sir, the man said, voice low, we have it. Lucas stopped breathing. Go on. We obtained a sample from a juice box she discarded at the playground. Lab results came back this morning. Pause. Lucas gripped the edge of his desk. Sir, it's a 99.98% match. Livia Sofia Costa is your biological daughter. The world stopped. Lucas dropped the phone, stood, staggered back, hit the wall, slid down to the floor, hand over his mouth. Tears, hot, uncontrollable, streaming down his face. She's mine. She's really mine. He laughed. Broken, sobbing, disbelieving, then screamed raw, guttural, primal, then cried great, heaving sobs that shook his entire body. He picked up the phone, whispered, "Thank you," hung up, crawled to his desk, pulled out a photo of Livia at the gallery, smiling at her painting, pressed it to his chest, rocked back and forth, whispering, "My daughter, my Livia, my baby girl." He didn't shower, didn't shave, didn't eat, just sat there, holding the photo, crying, laughing, praying, for hours. That night, he drove to Sophia's neighborhood, didn't park in front of her house, didn't knock, just sat in his car, across the street, watching her living room window. Light on, curtains open. He could see them. Sophia, kneeling on the floor, helping Livia glue glitter onto a cardboard crown. Livia, giggling, covered in sparkles, waving the crown like a scepter. Sophia, laughing, shaking her head, wiping glitter off Livia's nose. His throat tightened. He rolled down the window, let the cool night air wash over him, listened to Livia's laughter, to Sophia's soft humming, to the sound of a home he didn't deserve. He closed his eyes, whispered, "I'm here, meu anjo. I'm right here." The next morning, he sent Sophia a text. "I know." 3 words. That was all. He didn't say "I'm sorry," didn't say "I want to be her father," didn't say "please forgive me," just "I know." Sophia read it, froze, hand flying to her mouth, heart pounding so hard she thought it would burst. She looked at Livia, coloring at the kitchen table, tongue sticking out in concentration. He knows. Oh God, he knows. She stood, walked to the window, peered out, saw his car parked down the street. Him, sitting inside, staring at her house. She stepped back, closed the curtains, leaned against the wall, breathing fast, panic clawing at her throat. How did he find out? She grabbed her phone, texted back, fingers trembling. "What did you do?" He replied instantly, "I had to know. I'm sorry, but I had to know." She squeezed her eyes shut. Tears slipped down her cheeks. "You had no right." "I know, but she's mine, Sophia. She's really mine. She's mine, asterisk, Lucas. She always has been. Asterisk, I'm not trying to take her from you. I need to be part of her life. Please." She didn't reply, just walked to Livia, pulled her into a hug. Tight, desperate, trembling. Livia squirmed. "Mama? You're squishing me." Sophia loosened her grip, kissed her forehead. "I love you, meu anjo, more than anything." Livia grinned. "I love you too, even more than glitter." Sophia laughed, shaky, tearful, held her tighter. That afternoon, Lucas showed up at her door. No warning, no text, just there. Sophia opened the door, eyes red, jaw set, body tense. He looked wrecked, unshaven, eyes bloodshot, holding a stuffed bunny, the same one Livia had at the gallery. I saw her with it," he said, voice hoarse. "I thought she might want a backup, in case the first one gets lost." Sophia stared at the bunny, didn't take it. "Leave, Lucas." He didn't move. "Sophia, I'm not here to fight. I'm not here to take her. I need to see her, just for 5 minutes. Please." Sophia's hands clenched at her sides. "You don't get to say please. Not after what you did. Not after you tested her." He flinched. "I'm sorry. I was desperate. I needed to know. You had no right." "I know." His voice broke. "I know. But she's my daughter, Sophia. And I've missed 4 years. For years. I don't want to miss another day." Sophia closed her eyes, took a breath. Then, before she could stop herself, she stepped aside. 5 minutes. No promises. No touching. You stand there. You talk. You leave. He nodded fast, grateful. Walked in. Stopped in the living room. Livia looked up from her coloring book. Gasped. "Mr. Buildings." She jumped up, ran to him, stopped just before hugging him, remembering Sophia's rules. He crouched down, smiled real, warm, fatherly. "Hi, Livia." She beamed. You came back. Did you bring me a castle? He chuckled. Not yet, but I brought you this. He held out the bunny. Livia squealed. A bunny friend. Thank you. She took it, hugged it. Then, before Sophia could stop her, hugged him. Lucas froze. Then, slowly, carefully, wrapped his arms around her, held her, just for a second. But it was enough. Sophia watched. Heart breaking, heart healing. She didn't stop them. When Livia ran back to her coloring, Lucas stood, looked at Sophia, eyes wet, voice trembling. Thank you. She didn't answer, just walked to the door, opened it. He walked to her, stopped, looked at her, really looked. I'm going to earn this, Sophia. I swear it, however long it takes, however hard it is. I'm not going anywhere. She met his gaze. No more secrets. Never again. She nodded. He left. That night, Sophia sat on Livia's bed, watching her sleep, bunny clutched in her arms, smile soft on her lips. She pulled out her phone, stared at Lucas's last text. I'm not going anywhere, she typed. Prove it. Sent it. You feel it, don't you? The fragile, trembling hope, the weight of his promise, the fear in Sophia's heart, the joy in Livia's smile. He's here, not as the tycoon, not as the husband, as the father. And he's not leaving. But you also feel the dread, the ticking clock, because secrets like this, they don't stay buried. Isadora will find out. The press will find out. The world will find out. And when they do, they'll come for Livia, for Sophia, for the quiet, glitter-covered life they've built. You hold your breath, because Lucas may be ready to fight. But the world doesn't care about redemption, cares about scandal. And this is the scandal of the decade. The storm isn't coming. It's here, and it's holding its breath, waiting, watching, to see if Lucas Varela can protect them, or if he'll break them all over again. You lean closer, eyes wide, heart racing, because this is where everything changes. And you're not just watching, you're terrified. 3 soft raps against the front door, hesitant, almost reverent. Like the man on the other side was afraid the sound alone might shatter everything. Sophia didn't move, didn't breathe, just stood in the kitchen, dish towel in hand, heart hammering against her ribs like a trapped bird. Livia, oblivious, sat at the table, humming to herself as she colored a dragon with purple wings and rainbow scales. Mama? She called, not looking up. Can Mr. Buildings come for dinner? He can sit next to me. Sophia closed her eyes, swallowed. He's here, again. She walked to the door, didn't open it, just stood there, palm flat against the wood, feeling the weight of him on the other side. Go away, Lucas, she said, voice low, trembling. I can't. His voice, raw, quiet, broken, slipped through the crack beneath the door like smoke. I tried. I swear to God, Sophia, I tried to stay away. I told myself I'd wait. I'd be patient. I'd earn this. But I can't. I can't not see her. Not anymore. She pressed her forehead against the door. Tears burned behind her eyelids. You don't get to decide when or how, Lucas. Not after what you did. Not after you tested her like she was a specimen. I know, he whispered. I know. And I'll spend the rest of my life making it up to you both. But please, just let me in. Not for me, for her. She asked for me. She wants me here. Sophia's breath hitched, turned, looked at Livia. Still coloring, still humming, still smiling at the thought of Mr. Buildings sitting beside her. Her daughter, her heart, her greatest joy, and her greatest vulnerability. She closed her eyes, took a breath, opened the door. He stood there. No suit, no tie, no arrogance. Just jeans, a worn sweater, eyes red-rimmed and desperate, hands shoved deep in his pockets like he was afraid to reach for anything. He looked smaller, softer, real. Thank you, he whispered. She didn't answer, just stepped aside. He walked in slowly, like he was entering a cathedral. Stopped in the living room. Livia looked up, gasped. dropped her crayon. "Mr. Buildings, you came." She jumped up, ran to him. This time, Sophia didn't stop her. Lucas crouched, fast, eager, and caught her in his arms, lifting her just slightly off the ground, spinning her once, making her shriek with laughter. "Whoa, princess, you're getting heavy." "I'm strong," she corrected, giggling. "Mama says I'm the strongest girl in the world." He set her down, looked up at Sophia, eyes wet, voice thick. "She's right." Sophia didn't smile, didn't move, just crossed her arms. "You can stay for dinner. 1 hour. No promises. No expectations. You behave. You leave when I say. Understood?" He nodded. Understood. Dinner was quiet, not awkward, not tense, just fragile, like walking on glass. Livia chattered nonstop about her dragon, about school, about the new slide at the park, about how she wanted to paint a castle next. Lucas listened, really listened, nodded, asked questions, laughed at the right moments, didn't look at Sophia, didn't push, didn't try to be anything but present. And it terrified her, because this wasn't the Lucas she knew. This wasn't the man who'd walked out on her. This wasn't the tycoon who traded her for a headline. This was a father, a real one, and that scared her more than his absence ever had. After dinner, Livia ran to the living room to finish her dragon. Lucas stood, looked at Sophia. "I'll wash the dishes." She blinked. "What?" "I'll wash the dishes. You cooked. Least I can do." She stared at him, didn't move. He walked to the sink, rolled up his sleeves, started scrubbing. She watched him, the way his hands moved, careful, deliberate, the way he hummed under his breath, an old song they used to dance to, the way his shoulders relaxed, just slightly, like he was home. She walked to the doorway, leaned against the frame, arms still crossed, voice low. "Why are you really here, Lucas?" He didn't stop scrubbing, didn't look at her. "Because I love her." Pause, then quieter. "And because I never stopped loving you." She flinched, looked away. "Don't. I'm not asking for anything," he said, still scrubbing. "Not forgiveness, not another chance, not even your love. I'm just asking for the right to be near her, to be part of her life, however small, however quiet, however long it takes." She turned back, looked at him, eyes hard. "You don't get to say that. Not after you left. Not after you married her. Not after you let the world believe I was nothing." He turned off the water, dried his hands, turned to face her, eyes blazing. "I know what I did. I know what I threw away, and I will spend every single day of the rest of my life trying to make it right. But Sophia," his voice broke, "I'm begging you, don't punish her for my mistakes. She didn't ask to be born into this. She didn't ask for me to be her father. But I am, and I want to be better. For her, for you, for us." She stared at him, tears slipping down her cheeks. "You think it's that easy? You think you can just show up with stuffed bunnies and wash dishes and fix this?" "No," he whispered. "I know it's not. I know I don't deserve her. I know I don't deserve you. But I'm asking, begging, for the chance to try." She closed her eyes, took a breath. Then, before she could stop herself, she stepped closer, looked up at him, voice trembling. "If you hurt her, Lucas, if you ever hurt her, I will burn your world to the ground. I will take her so far away you'll never find us. I will erase you from her life like you never existed. Do you understand me?" He nodded fast, desperate. "I understand." She stepped even closer, poked a finger into his chest. "I'm not giving you a second chance. I'm giving her a father. And if you really prove that you're worthy of that, then maybe we'll talk." He swallowed, nodded again. "I'll prove it, every day, for the rest of my life." She stepped back, wiped her face. "Good. Then start by taking out the trash." He blinked. Then, for the first time in years, he laughed. Real, warm, hopeful. "Yes, ma'am." He took out the trash, played dragons with Livia, read her a bedtime story, voice soft, steady, Perfect. Tucked her in, kissed her forehead, whispered, "Good night, princess. Dream of castles." She smiled. "Good night, Mr. Buildings. Come back tomorrow?" He looked at Sophia. She nodded just slightly. He turned back to Livia. "I'll be here." When he walked to the door, Sophia followed him, stopped him before he could leave, looked up at him, eyes hard, voice low. "This isn't a romance, Lucas. This isn't a comeback story. This is her life. And if you so much as think about failing her, I will end you." He met her gaze, didn't flinch. "I know." She opened the door. He stepped out, paused, looked back. "One more thing." She raised an eyebrow. He took a deep breath. "I filed for divorce today." She froze, stared at him. "What?" "Isadora. I filed. Today. It's done." She didn't speak, didn't move, just stared. He stepped closer, voice trembling. "I don't want her. I never did. I want you. I want Livia. I want us. However broken, however messy, however long it takes." She closed the door, softly, didn't slam it, didn't yell, just closed it, leaning against it, breathing fast, heart pounding, tears streaming. He filed. He chose us. Oh God. Upstairs, Livia called, "Mama, can you check for monsters?" Sophia wiped her face, straightened, walked upstairs, pushed open Livia's door, smiled. "Of course, meu anjo." She checked under the bed, behind the curtains, sat on the edge of the bed. Livia snuggled under the covers. "Mama, do you think Mr. Buildings will really come back tomorrow?" Sophia smoothed her hair. "Yes, meu amor. I think he will." Livia smiled. "Good. I like him." Sophia kissed her forehead. "I know, baby. I know." Downstairs, Lucas stood on the porch, looked up at Livia's window, saw the light go out, closed his eyes, whispered, "I'm here, meu anjo, and I'm not leaving." You feel it, don't you? The shift, the fragile, trembling hope, the weight of his promise, the fear in Sophia's heart, the joy in Livia's smile. He's here, not as the tycoon, not as the husband, as the father, and he's not leaving. But you also feel the dread, the ticking clock, because secrets like this, they don't stay buried. Isadora will find out. The press will find out. The world will find out. And when they do, they'll come for Livia, for Sophia, for the quiet, glitter-covered life they've built. You hold your breath, because Lucas may be ready to fight. But the world doesn't care about redemption, cares about scandal. And this is the scandal of the decade. The storm isn't coming. It's here, and it's holding its breath, waiting, watching, to see if Lucas Varela can protect them, or if he'll break them all over again. You lean closer, eyes wide, heart racing, because this is where everything changes. And you're not just watching, you're terrified. For Livia, for Sophia, for the man who might be worth forgiving. At 5:30 p.m., like clockwork, his car would roll to a stop at the curb, quiet, unassuming, no longer the black armored beast of his tycoon days, but a simple silver sedan, windows tinted just enough to keep prying eyes out. He'd step out, always in jeans, always in sweaters now, sleeves rolled, hands clean of power and full of purpose, and walk to the door with the same quiet reverence, like he was approaching something sacred. And he was, because behind that door was her, his daughter, Livia, the child he never knew he had, the miracle he didn't deserve, the reason he was learning how to breathe again. The first week, Sophia watched him like a hawk, didn't let him inside unless she was there, didn't let him take Livia anywhere, didn't let him hold her hand without permission. He didn't argue, didn't push, just nodded, smiled at Livia, played with her dragons, helped her glue glitter onto cardboard crowns, washed the dishes, took out the trash, fixed the leaky faucet, replaced the porch light, all without being asked, all without expecting praise, all without looking at Sophia like he wanted anything more than what she was giving him. a sliver of space in his daughter's world. And that terrified her more than his absence ever had. Because this Lucas, he was dangerous, not because he was cruel, but because he was good, and she didn't know how to fight good. One evening, as he helped Livia build a Lego castle, tiny hands fumbling with blocks, his guiding gently, patiently, Sophia stood in the doorway, arms crossed, watching. Livia giggled. "Mr. Buildings, you're really good at this." He chuckled. "Well, I do build buildings for a living. But not castles," she pouted. "Not yet," he said, winking. "But I'm learning." Sophia's chest tightened. She turned away, walked to the kitchen, poured herself a glass of wine. Didn't drink it, just held it, staring out the window. He found her there a few minutes later. Didn't speak, just stood beside her, quiet, respectful. After a long moment, he said, "She called me Daddy today." Sophia's breath caught. She didn't look at him. "What?" "At the park. She was showing off her castle drawing to another kid. Said, 'My daddy helped me.'" His voice cracked. She didn't even realize she said it. Just slipped out. Sophia closed her eyes. Tears burned. "She doesn't know, Lucas. She doesn't know you're her father." "I know," he whispered, "and I won't tell her. Not until you say it's okay. I needed you to know." She turned, looked at him, eyes wet, voice trembling. "Why are you doing this? Why now? After everything?" He met her gaze, didn't flinch. "Because when I saw her, when I really saw her, I realized I'd spent my whole life building towers that meant nothing. And the one thing that mattered, my daughter, I almost missed. I won't miss another second. Not if I have to beg. Not if I have to crawl. Not if I have to live in this town forever washing dishes and fixing faucets. I'm here, Sophia. For her. For you. For however long it takes." She looked away, swallowed hard. "Don't make promises you can't keep." "I'm not promising anything," he said softly. "I'm just staying." Isadora found out 3 weeks later. Of course she did. Lucas had stopped answering her calls, stopped showing up to events, stopped pretending. She hired her own detective, and what she found, it broke her, not because she loved him, but because she'd owned him. And now, he was kneeling in a suburban living room, helping a 4-year-old glue googly eyes onto a paper dragon. She called him, voice sharp, venomous. "Who is she, Lucas?" He didn't pretend not to know. "Her name is Livia." Silence, then a laugh, cold, cruel. "You're joking. You left me for a child." "I left you because I never loved you," he said, voice calm, final. "And I'm staying for her because she's my daughter." Another silence, longer. Then, "You're making a mistake. You think she'll ever forgive you? You think Sophia will ever take you back? You're a joke, Lucas. A washed-up billionaire playing house with leftovers." He didn't rise to it, just said, "I'm hanging up now, Isadora. Don't call again." He did, and for the first time in his life, he felt free. Isadora didn't take it lying down. She called the press. Leaked photos, Lucas leaving Sophia's house. Lucas playing with Livia in the park. Lucas buying groceries like a normal man. The headlines exploded. Fallen Tycoon trades supermodel for single MOM. Secret daughter revealed. Isadora speaks. "He left me for a child he never knew existed." Who is Livia Costa? The mystery girl who stole Lucas Varela's heart. Sophia saw them on her phone, felt the world tilt, rushed to close the blinds, locked the doors, turned off the ringer. Livia, sensing the tension, tugged her hand. "Mama? Why are there cameras outside?" Sophia knelt, held her face, voice trembling. "Because some people don't understand love, meu anjo. But we do. And that's all that matters." Livia nodded, serious. "Okay, can Mr. Buildings still come over?" Sophia closed her eyes, nodded. "Yes, baby. He's coming. He showed up that night, despite the cameras, despite the shouting reporters, despite Isadora's smirking face on every screen. He walked through them like they were ghosts, knocked, Sophia opened the door, eyes red, voice shaking. "You shouldn't be here." He stepped inside, closed the door, looked at her. "I'm not leaving." She stared at him. "You're going to ruin her life." "No," he said, stepping closer. "They are, and I'm going to protect her. From them, from Isadora, from the world. However I have to." She shook her head. "You don't get it, Lucas. This isn't about you being a hero. This is about her safety, her privacy, her childhood." "I know," he whispered, "which is why I'm selling the penthouse, resigning from the board, moving here, permanently. No press, no paparazzi, no Isadora, just us, quiet, simple, real." She froze, stared at him. "You're what?" "I'm done with that life, Sophia. I don't want it. I never did. I want this. I want her. I want you. Even if you never forgive me, even if you never love me again, I'm staying." She didn't speak, didn't move, just stared, tears slipping down her cheeks. He stepped closer, voice trembling. "Let me fight for you. Let me fight for her. Please." She closed her eyes, took a breath. Then, before she could stop herself, she whispered, "Okay." He froze. "Okay." She opened her eyes, looked at him. "Okay, you can stay. You can be part of her life. But Lucas," her voice hardened, "if you ever put her in danger again, intentionally or not, I will disappear, and you'll never see us again. Do you understand?" He nodded fast, desperate. "I understand." She turned away, walked to the stairs, paused, looked back. "One more thing." He waited. She took a breath. "Start calling her princess again. She likes it." He smiled, real, warm, hopeful. "I will." That night, as Livia slept, Sophia stood at the window, watching Lucas sit on the porch steps, head in his hands, shoulders shaking with silent sobs. She didn't go to him, didn't comfort him, but she didn't close the curtains either. She let him sit there, let him feel the weight of what he'd done. Let him feel the weight of what he was trying to undo. And for the first time, she didn't hate him for it. You feel it, don't you? The shift, the surrender, not hers. He's not fighting for forgiveness. He's fighting for presence. For the right to be there when Livia scrapes her knee, when she loses her first tooth, when she needs someone to hold her hand in the dark. He's fighting to be the man he should have been all along. And Sophia? She's letting him, not because she trusts him, but because Livia needs him. And maybe, just maybe, she needs him too. But you also feel the dread. Isadora isn't done. The press isn't done. The world isn't done. And when they come back, they'll come harder, louder, crueler. You hold your breath, because Lucas may be ready to fight. But the world doesn't care about redemption, cares about blood. And this is just the beginning. The storm isn't coming. It's here, and it's holding its breath, waiting, watching, to see if Lucas Varela can protect them, or if he'll break them all over again. You lean closer, eyes wide, heart racing, because this is where everything changes. And you're not just watching, you're terrified. For Livia, for Sophia, for the man who might be worth forgiving. The clock is ticking. She screamed. She stood on the steps of her Beverly Hills mansion, hair perfect, dress sharper than a blade, eyes glittering with vengeance, and told the world everything. He abandoned his wife while she was pregnant. He didn't even know his own daughter existed until last month. He's not a redeemed father. He's a fraud playing house to clean his image. She played the audio, the one she'd secretly recorded. Lucas's voice, raw, broken, whispering to Sophia through the door, "I never stopped loving you. I'll spend the rest of my life making it right. She's my daughter, and I'm not leaving." The world exploded. Headlines screamed. Talk shows dissected. Social media crucified. Tycoon's dirty secret. Secret love child. Abandoned wife. Supermodel scandal. Who is Livia? The girl caught in Lucas Varela's web of lies. Sofia Costa breaks silence? Inside the woman who raised his child alone. Sofia saw it all. On her phone, on the neighbor's TV, on the tablet Livia used to watch cartoons, now flashing with her father's face, her mother's name, her face, blurred, but not enough. She grabbed the tablet, turned it off, sat on the couch, pulled Livia into her lap, held her tight, too tight. Livia squirmed. "Mama, you're squishing me." Sofia didn't loosen her grip, just buried her face in Livia's curls, voice trembling. "I'm sorry, meu anjo. I'm so sorry." Livia patted her back. "It's okay, Mama. Did you have a bad dream?" Sofia closed her eyes. Tears slipped down. "Yes, baby. A very bad dream." The doorbell rang. Not the soft knock Lucas used. Not the hesitant tap. A bang. Hard. Demanding. Sofia stood. Walked to the door. Didn't open it. Just stood there. Heart pounding. Palms sweating. Body trembling. "Sofia Costa, this is Channel 7 News. Can you comment on the allegations that Lucas Varela abandoned you while pregnant?" Another voice. "Ms. Costa, is it true Livia is his biological child?" Another. "How do you feel knowing he only came back after a DNA test?" She backed away, hands over her ears. "No, no, no, no." Livia ran to her, tugged her hand. "Mama? Who's yelling?" Sofia knelt, held her face, voice shaking. "Listen to me, meu amor. No matter what you hear, no matter what anyone says, you are loved. Fiercely, completely, unconditionally. Do you understand me?" Livia nodded, eyes wide. "Yes, Mama." Sofia kissed her forehead, stood, walked to the window, peered out. Cameras, microphones, reporters shouting, neighbors watching. Her life, her quiet, glitter-covered, dragon-drawing, castle-building life was